And whether it was a man or a woman, 30 years ago, 36 years ago. In fact, they don't even know how many years ago because nobody knows what the time is. That's a long time. And I could pick, as an example, hopefully I won't have to do it as a replacement because hopefully this is going to go very well on Thursday. It's going to go very well on Monday or Saturday or Sunday or whenever they vote. But I could pick a woman, and she could have charges made from many years ago also.
President Trump doubling down on his support of Supreme Court Justice nominee Brett Kavanaugh ahead of tomorrow's Senate hearing. Back with us, Liz Peek, Heather Higgins, and Rick Ungar. We got this written testimony of Dr. Christine Blasey Ford just moments ago, and it's interesting because now the stage is set, Liz. She says there were 4 boys. That number has vacillated somewhat since the story broke. Brett Kavanaugh, Mark Judge, P.J. Smythe, and another boy, she can't recall his name. Her friend Leland Ingram attended. And then she goes on to say, I truly wish I could provide detailed answers to all the questions. And she says about how the party went and what took place. I don't have all the answers. I don't remember as much as I would like to. But the details about that night that bring me here today are the ones I will never forget.
Yeah, she's clearly trying to elicit the sympathy of the committee, and I'm sure that there will be people on that committee who are sympathetic that someone has, A, put herself in this position, because I think she's had a pretty wretched month or two, and also that she presumably believes, perhaps, or not, I think she probably does, believe that she was a victim of sexual assault. And I think the testimony reads totally as though in the way that she wants to present herself. I didn't want to do this. I really felt it was my duty. And, you know, yes, I have a lot of vague can't fill in the gaps. So I'm sorry.
So, Rick, reportedly, President Trump wasn't necessarily happy with the way Judge Kavanaugh handled the interview with Martha McCallum, in the sense that talked a little bit too much about the sexual stuff. Really was too measured, if you will. Since then, he's come out with some comments today, some tougher, more biting comments, more emotionally driven comments. Is that how he counters these statements?
You know, there's not much he can do to counter these statements. It's not going to be about him, because all he can do is say, I didn't do this. And you're going to believe him or you're not going to believe him. I know you guys are getting tired of hearing me say these words, but I have to. The beauty of the American justice system, and I am a big admirer of our legal system, is cross-examination. You just pointed out correctly that she's making some changes in that statement than what she made initially. That's why you cross-examine.
Liz, what some people may interpret what you're saying is victim shaming. Is that?
It's going to be very hard for the Republicans tomorrow. If we were talking earlier, she seems sort of like a fragile person. If they really go after her, she could start to cry. People are going to be sympathetic towards. That should bear not at all on the people's assessment of whether this man is fit to be on the Supreme Court. Right. Or it doesn't even really bear on her credibility. Right. And I think that is really what's at issue here. Is this a true charge?
Well, the big thing is it's all a question mark. So we're not quite sure, you know, what she'll do, if she'll cry, if she'll be emotional, you know. And of course, you do have to be careful in the Me Too era, particularly with the Republican side. All men, of course, they brought in a female prosecutor to help with them, but the imagery of it all is going to be hard to get around. And you know, again, I don't know how going into this we're going to determine who's telling the truth.
It's going to be incredibly hard. I suggest that everybody go look up. There's a wonderful podcast by Malcolm Gladwell on memory. It's called Free Brian Williams, and it talks about how people become absolutely certain that they remember something, even though they themselves described the event several years before completely differently. They don't even believe that their own written statement about what happened is correct. I am sure that she genuinely believes whatever it is that she says tomorrow. But I note that what is in her testimony that we were just read is different than what we were first told was what she knew. And this is the big problem with
Will this make a difference, Heather? Today you had Lindsey Graham, who came out very forcefully. You've had a lot of other Republicans in it who've come out very forcefully. Now, Jeff Flake, he had a really impassionate speech where he said, just show humanity to both the accuser and the accused. Will this make a difference, or do you think Kavanaugh is going to be confirmed?
I think Kavanaugh will be confirmed. I think he will be confirmed for several reasons. The political ones, obviously, are going to be here. But this is now larger stakes. If you care about fairness, then you have to have respect and fairness, not just for the accuser, but also for the accused. You can't just presume guilt. You have to presume some level of innocence and the capacity to defend oneself. You have to look for other corroborating evidence. Precisely, we have statutes of limitations because memories are faulty, because we revise things. If you have a weak standard of evidence, then what you are doing is guaranteeing that future nominations will all be last-minute character assassinations and circuses, and you are undermining the claims of women
Real quick,
who want to have sexual
the Democrat on it. We got to
contentions.
wrap there, but do you agree with that?
I major league agree. I was going to say, Heather, I could not have put it better. There are bigger issues at stake here. I may not be a fan of the judge, but this is not how you make these decisions.
Right.
He needs to be presumed innocent until the witnesses say something that convinces the panel that he's guilty.
Right.
Heather got it exactly right.
Let's leave it there. Thank you very much.